Hey everybody, welcome back. We are on the road again, currently in Iowa. I don't remember the name of the town we're going to in Iowa, but we've got Rudy in the truck with me. Raylan's in the back doing her thing. Raylan, you want to say hi? She's burned out already. We're only 3 hours into the 8-hour road trip here. But Counter's behind us with a trailer. I've got a trailer, so we're picking up a couple of different things. Well, they're the same thing, but they're different years. So, a couple of new purchases for a couple of tractor collectors in Florida, Hyatt and Mark. Happy to help them out. Let's see what we can find. Makes me nervous. Can we move the truck and trailer? Well, here they are, a 1937 and a 1938 Model A John Deere. Let's do a quick walk around of them for Mark and Hyatt. So Hyatt's tractor has round spokes front and rear. The fronts are cut off, or I'm sorry, no. These are, one is a factory round spoke and one is a cut off round spoke. You can tell because of the welds on the bottom of the spokes. If you look real close, you can see the welds here. If you look at this one, these are a pressed in, machined looking spoke. So they're also two different hubs. This has a pressed in type spoke with a V center. And this has a different hub with the webbed spoke design, or the webbed hub design. So two different style hubs, which isn't surprising since it has two different front wheels. It does have an issue with this wheel, which is the factory round spoke. It has a crack here. My guess is rust got to it and eventually it just gave way. So there's a crack here. And this tire is brand new. It still has the nubs on it and it matches this tire. This one is not new, but they have the same tread pattern. This one is flat, this one is not, so I'm guessing that the rust and everything got to this wheel and eventually caused the tube to go on it. But overall, it's in really good shape. These things start like a dream. They are a couple flips of the flywheel with the choke on, it pops, turn the choke off, one or two more flips and they're running. Both tractors are very, very well tuned, so I don't think we're going to mess with any of the tuning on them. The carburetors, everything seems pretty good on that. Magnetos are good and hot. There's no misses coming out of them. So round spoke rears, these are factory round spoke rears. They're both in really good shape. The valve stems, nothing is eaten away on the valve stem area of the rims, so that's good. These are 36-inch rear tires. These are what they call turkey track or long bar, short bar rear tires. They're very, very original style. They're old for sure. I would say these tires are probably from the 40s or 50s at the latest. I don't think these tread patterns, which went much further past the 50s, but very, very nice A here. The stenciling, believe it or not, was hand painted on this hood, and they did actually a really nice job. It's not perfect, you know, you can see some of the brush marks, but it's very nice from 20 feet away. This one and the other A, the 38, both have the Behlen overdrive units, so this is a very unique and somewhat rare option. These things will go probably 15, 16 miles an hour in overdrive gear. Let's see, a little bit of a crack on the radiator cap, not a huge deal. You can get brand new cast radiator caps, I think even from Steiner or some other vendors, so that's not even a big deal. You can find them all day long on the internet, used as well on eBay and everything else. But let's see, other common problems that we look for. The ear on the manifold, a lot of times these are broken. This one has one broken ear. I can't see the other one on this other side, but that's not a big deal. Those things, it's a very common problem for these to have broken ears on the manifolds. So that has been looked at. Let's see, I think the clutch, is it on this one? This one has a pretty good snap to it. It's got good oil pressure, runs good. Let's look at the 38 here. Start with the tin work. The hood's in pretty rough shape. If you guys can see that, it's been it's been pretty well beat to death on top of here. That's missing a chunk that's been rusted out here. See if I can get the sun out of here, but missing a chunk here. New hoods are available, otherwise finding a decent used one isn't too difficult. There's a lot of Unstyled A's out there still. So let's see, this one also has a Heisler overdrive in it. They have this nice wood handle that's fashioned for it. It should have a threaded knob on there. I probably have some in my garage. This one's got good oil pressure as well. It's got fenders on it. This one has a factory flat spoke on this side and pressed steel fronts and a factory round spoke on this side. Brand new tires on the rear, very good tires. Brand new tires on the front. Still got the nipples on them. Let's take a look at the manifold here. This one looks to be intact, so no broken ears on this one. This has a Wyco C magneto. The other one has a Wyco X. Good oil pressure on this one. Let's see the clutch. Oh yeah, this one's got a real good clutch snap. So we could probably tighten up the clutch on the other one just a little bit. Brakes on both of these work. They could use a little bit of work, but they both work. This tractor also has the power troll lift on it. The other one, the 37, does not. That has a flat back with PTO, and those are actually kind of more sought after right now, the flat backs, because a lot of pullers like them. They're lighter. You shave off a lot of weight by not having that hydraulic system. What else? They both have rear view mirrors, parade mirrors on them. I'm just trying to go over anything I can see here. The round spoke on the 38 has some rot around the valve stem, unfortunately. So in order for this, and it's been repaired in a few spots, it looks like there's weld here, weld here, weld here. I mean, it's pretty common for these things to kind of rot out, especially if they're running calcium in the rear. So this one, I would actually recommend, because it's got a flat spoke on one side and a round spoke on the other, I would recommend looking for another flat spoke, because their factory flat spokes are just as hard to find as factory round spokes. And since this one needs a new rim, or at least some repair to the rim, it might be worthwhile to just try and find a factory flat spoke rear, just so that both of them match. You don't have to worry about trying to re-rim this one, which is a pretty decent price to do. Both tractors are sound running machines. Like I said, this one, the hood's a little banged up on the shutters. Both of them have shutters. This one has the link rod that goes back to the shutter handle back here. So you would adjust your shutters open and closed with that handle. But this one, the shutters are froze up, which is also a very common thing, as well as this one. The shutters are froze as well. So they move a little bit, so you could probably get them to free up with some lube and some patience. But this one's missing the link rod that goes back to the handle back here. So let's see. What else could I possibly go over? Oh, this one has the Monroe Comfort Ride seat on it as well. So similar like you would see on the Farmall H or M series. My 42 John Deere A had one of these on it. They're a very comfortable seat in comparison to these channel iron factory single spring seats like you would see on the 37 here. So, but that's original equipment. This is aftermarket from back in the 1940s, 1950s. So, but I actually prefer the Monroe Comfort seats because they're a little bit easier on the back, but neither one is neither one's going to be perfect on your back. But there they are, 38 and 37 Model A's. Fenders on the 38 they're there. They're not perfect, but they're there. The paint job, I would say both of them are in pretty decent shape. They're older restorations, but these tractors weren't restored to be museum quality. They were restored for, you know, parades, and their main focus, I talked to the owner, their main focus was to have really, really good running tractors that looked good. Not great, but looked good. They were more focused on the mechanical side of how they worked, so, which is good because that stuff can add up quickly. Let's see, one last thing. I had it in my head, but I can't remember what it was, what I was gonna say. Yeah, they're great sound machines, so I wouldn't even mess with the carburation or the ignition on either one of these. They're in really good shape. They start beautifully, so I think it was a good buy, personally. Anyways, hope you guys are excited. Mark and Hyatt, we were happy to help you out on this, and they should work well for, you know, whatever parades you want to use them in. I know Hyatt has been really looking forward to finding something he can use for the Mackinac Bridge crossing in Michigan. They do that tractor ride every year, and I think there's upwards of 1,000 tractors that participate, so pretty impressive event. But both tractors are in good shape. The exhausts are covered. I'll have to find a tarp to put over them. But yeah, they're a real nice pair of tractors. This one, oh, that's what I was going to talk about. This one has wheel spacers for the front wheels. I don't know how rare those are to find, but I've never seen a set personally. Kind of a neat deal, but so that's different. But we'll probably, I don't know what Mark and Hyatt are going to work out as far as trading parts back and forth, but there they are. So happy to help you guys. Hope you're excited. Hope you enjoyed the video of the pickup, and I tried to get as much footage and cool stuff as we could. Oh, I know one other thing I was going to say. Both of these tractors have been on that farm that we picked it up from in Iowa for 70 years-ish. The gentleman that we purchased them from, his father started farming with these two tractors back in the 1950s, and these were his first tractors, so that's pretty cool. You know, to have them, essentially they're almost a one-owner tractor, because the people that owned it before Mike's father, the owner of the farm now, his father, before the people that owned them before him, they only had them for 12, 13 years maybe. So I highly doubt they changed hands too many times before they sat on that farm for 70 years. So pretty cool to see that these two are still, you know, out there running around on a farm, and just doesn't get much better than that, you know. There's some pretty cool stories and pictures, I'm sure, that go along with these tractors. Unfortunately, I don't have them, but I am going to contact the previous owner and see if he might be willing and able to share any of those pictures that he might have of these back on the farm. So anyhow, that's going to do it for me. We've been on the road all day long, so I'm heading inside. It's dinner time. You guys take care. Mark and Hyatt, I hope you're happy. I think it was a good buy. We'll talk to you guys soon.